Everybody, to the Birdies and Bourbon Show. Dan, do I look any different? I may have spent the weekend like a sardine locked up in an Airstream in the forgotten coast of Florida in Carabel. So my tan should be, I should be.
It's coming through.
Should be bronzing. I figure if I'm going to go for team Brooks, I'm going to have to work on my tan, big guy.
Ooh, that's right. Get some teeth whiteners.
Just saying. Well, if my tan comes off good enough,
it's true.
I don't even need the teeth whiteners.
That's a good point.
Just saying.
That's a good point.
So yes, of course. I mean, this could, once again, is this golf thing, is Vince McMahon writing the script for the PGA? Jason Kokrak pulls out a victory over the golden boy, Jordan Spieth, in Fort Worth, home state. I don't know. Did he take it and run away with it? I wouldn't go that far. I'd say, that 73 that Jordan fired back with on Sunday, obviously his worst round of the weekend. But I guess Kokrak won it, and he's sporting around an Eagle Rare. Hey, Buffalo Trace Sazerac Company, where are our Eagle Rare shirts at? We need to get Turtleson hooked up with Sazerac. We can get some logos on there. I mean, we will absolutely sport those on the show as we do regularly. They just don't have an Eagle Rare logo on them. But I'm thinking it's out there. They've got that digitized logo somewhere. Hey,
I think he's talking to me because an Eagle certainly is rare for me. But I will tell you, definitely loving that B&B vibe from Jason Kokrak. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations again. Cheers. Memorial Day. Hey, what a fitting bottle happening here. We've got the Eagle on the front, plastered in stars, and I couldn't be any happier. I don't know why I don't drink this more often, because it is a damn good pour of whiskey. I guess because I can't find it.
It's rare. No, but seriously, it's a dang good pour. It's great to see it on the winner's shirt. I mean, just watching that all day, you're like, that's my man. That's my man. It's great. It's great to see him. What a ball striker that guy is. Holy cow. I mean, his putting went from like 100 and whatever it was like a year ago to 7th on tour. And you could tell when you're watching that guy putt like all weekend, he's just lights out, man. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, Kokrak comes out and fires 65 on opening day. Spieth shoots a 63. And then Kokrak follows it up 65, 66, and then a 70 compared to Spieth's 73. So enough to get it done at 14 under.
When you got that kind of lead, you don't need to shoot that great on Sunday. You just got to beat the bear behind you, right? Now Spieth.
Well, he was beating himself. Let's be honest. Yeah. So, it's now, hey, and I'm not taking anything away from Spieth, man. I mean, that guy, that the blueprint that Spieth was working through, and we'll talk a little more about blueprints as we get into our DraftKings picks for this week at the Memorial. But, he had a plan. He worked his way through it. And I mean, let's be honest, if Spieth's putting better, he lost strokes this week in putting, not a full stroke, but about a half a stroke. If he's he wasn't pulling out those miraculous, 45 footers that Spieth is known for. So, again, was it there for Spieth to get? Absolutely. I think we got more build up, and once we get into the DraftKings show, I mean, we'll see where Spieth's sitting. Hey, is Spieth the best? Not taken away from Jason Kokrak's win this week, but is Spieth the best golfer right now?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I can't wait to hear who is. We'll get into that in a minute too. Who else? So Kokrak, Spieth, great tournaments, obviously. Charlie Hoffman, man, he just keeps inching his way up the leaderboard. He's ball striking the hell out of it. He's ball striking his way around the golf course, to quote one Brooks Koepka. And Charlie Hoffman looks good, man. I think there's two people. I think Charlie Hoffman and Keegan Bradley in the next 5 starts. I think we got a victory out of one of the two, if not both of those guys, over the next 5 starts. That's and sticking on Hoffman for just a second. He always plays well in Texas. It just kind of happens for him down there. But yeah, I like what Charlie Hoffman is doing. Looks really, really good. Patton Kazire is another guy that's kind of on point. Sebastian Munoz, your boy, another T3. Do we have a new Ferrari in the garage, maybe?
Absolutely. Ian Poulter for sure, man. He's getting there. Oh, yeah.
Pulse is definitely putting some things together right now, coming on during middle of the year. Who else we got? Lucas Glover looked really good out there. Got a rough start on Thursday with a 74, but comes back and fires in the 60s for the rest of the 3 rounds. Who surprised you? Hold on. Before we go there, Gary Woodland. 3 tournaments ago, Woodland was he was looking, it's kind of like, I don't know where Woodland's where he's at, but Woodland's kind of turning things around. I was a little bit surprised by Morikawa, T14. Not that T14 is bad. He 3 out of 4 rounds were in the 60s, so he didn't play bad. Could be something good to look forward to coming into the Memorial. What about JT? Where's he at? That's I don't know what's happening with that guy, but there's a miss somewhere.
Apparently, he's taking a stake in some of these up and comers. he did cut Michael a check and said, "Hey man, let's I guess they're running a Calcutta at the PGA Tour events now, huh?" Everybody was applauding it. It kind of looked like loan sharking to me, but that's just me. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Michael, call us. Predatory lending is a real thing. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. There's, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Don't expect it not to kick you when it turns around. So there you go. Sergio comes out and fires a 63 on Thursday.
Yeah. I want to go back to Spieth real quick. So apparently, according to Dottie, like he was walking up 18, and did he say something along on the lines of like, "Well, what do you do when you got no shots in your bag today?" Or something along those lines. I think if he would have saw like somebody with a polo that said PGA Tour coach, he would have tackled him.
he did lose his swing for a minute. He lost it. So whatever he was doing, it did escape him. But let's just say he found it back again. I mean, it did come back. So
he found the water on 18 is what he found.
Well,
I'll read you some stats for Sunday with Spieth. Okay, so he lost 0.4 shots putting. He lost 0.6 around the green. He lost 2.3 on approach. He gained a shot off the tee. Tee to green, he lost almost 2 shots. I mean, just a bad Sunday. And the worst one being his best club in the bag, which is 2.3 approach. I mean, that's rough, buddy. That's rough.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think once we get into the Memorial, I think he's probably going to be the top of the pile there, man. So king of the mountain for.
We have been on Kokrak for a while, though. We loved what he did last year when he won, and he has been a contender like every week. It seems like he's always in the mix, and it's great to see him pull out a second victory. This is the 3rd guy this year with 2 victories this season. So you got Bryson, Sink, and Kokrak, right? Is that it?
Yep. Yeah. Who else?
Player. Hey, one more. He's player of the year.
Our guy Hudson Swafford made the cut. T45 for him.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. So So this is still golf related, but it's talking about a guy. What do you think that beard? What about that beard? The facial hair on Billy Ho. What do you think about that? Is that? I swear to God, man, I saw, and sometimes, when the broadcast, they've got the name above the player, and sometimes they're a little slow to get it changed over or whatever. And it had Billy Horschel there. And I'm like, that is not Billy Horschel.
I think that Billy's been playing so well. He's got players that are kind of like JTing him. They're like giving him money. Hey, grow the beard. Kind of like Corona did with Ricky Fowler, but I would not want to look that much like Matt Wolff.
I mean, I don't know how much older is he than Matt Wolff? Maybe 12, 14, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
He like with that beard, I mean, he looks like he could be on the senior tour. I mean, that aged him incredible. Does my beard make me look that old, Dan?
No, never. Mm-mm.
I can always tell when you're lying. You're still talking. So I don't know. I mean, hey, whatever.
I can only grow the Poulter beard, so hey.
It's like
all that silver in there.
It's like it's not even a bid, Dan. It's not even a bid, Danny.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun last weekend watching the Memorial. I thought it was not the Memorial, the Charles Schwab, and I think this week's going to be even more fun. It's going to be a great tournament. Yeah,
it should be. Let's see. Any surprises that kind of? Yeah, absolutely. Patrick Reed and Kez. I mean, holy shit. All he has to do, I mean, that's one of the craziest miscuts I've seen in some time. So I hated to see that. Although Pat and Kez are probably like, all right, we get the weekend off. We get to, Kez got to go play some golf instead of toting the bag around. So, but I did hate to see that, missed it on the number. So
get the recharge a little bit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Are you surprised that Phil Mickelson missed the cut?
Mm-mm.
No, I think he wanted to. Well, I don't want to say want, because I don't think anybody ever goes out there with the thought of, hey, I want to miss the cut. I don't think that he was necessarily disappointed that he missed the cut, because now he
said everything he needed to say on Thursday when they asked him out. Hey, Phil, tough round out there. Give me your thoughts on this. He goes, well, it was tough out there today, but at least I won the PGA. Like, that was so Phil. Like, that's where his mind was.
He's like, I got to bulk up a little bit if I'm going to get in the middle of this this fairway brawl with Brooks and Bryson. He's like, shit, man, both of those guys can take me out. I mean, I'm not as young as I used to be.
I know.
I'm not as young as I once was.
I know. Hey, what'd you think about that truck that Kokrak won? That was pretty cool.
I thuld it was great. Yeah,
I love that little thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Does Kokrak to you look like the meanest Canadian of all time?
He doesn't look very friendly to me.
I mean, like, most people from Canada are like, hey, I'll spill something on you, I'll apologize, kind of thing. Kokrak. And I don't think he's a mean person. I'm joking about it, but he does get frustrated out there, unlike any other Canadian.
Yeah, he does not look like a friend. Like, if you saw that guy, if you were at a bar having a beer, he does not look like the guy you're going to pull up a chair to and be like, hey, bud, how's it going? Even at the 19th hole, it's like, hey, how'd you hit him today? He looks like the guy you're like, shit, I'll go over here and sit. I don't want to sit beside that guy. He looks like he did not have it. And it's like, oh, he just broke the course record.
Yeah, exactly. But I did see Freddie say that, congrats, my buddy Kokrak. So apparently he's a nice guy. So he just looks like he's intense out there. Yeah.
Extremely intense.
Kind of like Jon Rahm in a way. He's like the Jon Rahm. Same kind of thing.
Like
by the way, that's who I think is the number one player in the world right now. Jon Rahm.
Jon Rahm?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find out. I mean, is he going to have back-to-back? Well, good.
I don't know if he'll have back-to-back, but if you look at his play, he's been phenomenal. The only thing that he's not hitting well right now is the putter. But remember, he just changed clubs at Callaway. He doesn't have that putter dialed in yet. That's it. Other than that, it's Jon Rahm all the way.
You heard it here first. Mark it down.
Mark it down. Mm-hmm.
Back. Dan's calling back-to-back Memorial wins. Go ahead and mark your one and done down. I heard it here.
No, I think my one is going to be Ricky Fowler this week.
Ooh,
oh yeah.
Riding the Ricky.
Somebody who really cares this week.
Yeah, he cares. All right. Well, I mean, he better care.
He wants to get to that U.S. Open.
Yeah. The good news is this is an invitational, so he did get an invite to Jack's place. Mm-hmm. Do you find it odd that Justin Thomas has now kind of taken the Ricky Fowler seat, and Ricky Fowler has taken the JT seat? Do you think they're passing the baton? Do you think they're passing the baton in the sense of, hey, man, you carry our torch for us? I'm going to go work on some things.
I think, yeah, I do. I mean, on the course, JT has taken the baton in terms of being the guy to beat, right? And top 10 in the world and all that. Off the course, of course, Ricky's still holding the crown in terms of all the endorsements or whatnot. But, JT got a new sponsor for the shirt. You see that?
No, who was it?
It's some food company.
Did it have a guy riding a horse with a mallet?
No, it's some food company. Yeah. I don't know. Something like cold storage or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No,
I didn't see that. I'll need to bookmark that as never buying it. Never buying it. Hey, when one door closes, another. High tides raises all ships. Yeah, maybe I said that.
I do think it's weird that last year JT was so far out ahead of those other two, and then now JT and Spieth are out ahead, and then Ricky's really falling back because Ricky was, up until last year he was still doing well. But yeah, it's been interesting, that whole friendship and who's doing well and who's not, because it seems like when they don't do well, they do not, they fall out of the top 50, so good times, man.
Here's PB sending me all these messages again.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he sent some funny stuff. I'll have to upload some of that stuff that he sent over. But yeah, so let's head to Ohio. I should be drinking Magnolia. I mean, since we're going to Ohio, I'm gonna change glasses. I'm gonna need a refill anyway.
Oh boy. Magnolia milkshakes.
Magnolia milkshakes. Here we go. I mean, it is an Ohio brand. I mean, why not?
There you go.
Let's see. So we're heading to Muirfield Village in, let's see, where we should have found out where they are.
Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin, Ohio. So this is crazy, right? So let's rewind a year ago.
Yes.
We've got the Workday Challenge, which, so is there anything that Jack and the staff or the folks at Muirfield can't do? They can totally renovate a course in 10 months. They can absolutely hold back-to-back unplanned. Well, one was planned, one was unplanned, hold back-to-back golf tournaments. And they can turn the course from one week to the next into a scoring festival, into, holy shit, how can I get out of here as fast as possible?
Insane. Yeah.
Totally crazy. So let's see what happened at Muirfield Village. And Jack did say, if you watched it last year, if you've listened to any of the commentary that's definitely out there and being recorded, he said, what did Jack say? And I did ask PB, he hasn't responded yet. So we'll follow up with this at a later date. But Jack said he was going to make the golf course not necessarily harder, but he was going to make it more playable. And as PB Dye would say, he's making it more friendly for Mrs. Habersham. So I don't know if the tour pros think that it's necessarily more playable or not, but let's see what they did. So when we say that they literally started construction or deconstruction on the golf course while the workday or while the memorial was going on, literally they were going to the next tee box and they were ripping up greens.
Insane.
Like as they were going. I was looking at some pictures today and you could see they had the equipment out there, going to work on it. So, and they only had 10 months to do it in. So that's the way to go. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when he made the course better, not necessarily harder. Again, they've got the ability to do whatever they want to do out there. So construction started July the 20th. The last green was sodded October the 1st. And by the way, they did send a user guide to all the players on what changes had happened, how things were going. So every green was reconstructed with new bent grass, irrigation, Precision Pro air systems. So think about, Augusta, the way they're sucking out the moisture, making it faster, harder, et cetera, which is the greens are already small. The course is already, the greens are already fast. So here you go. Most green complexes were 100% recontoured and rebuilt. And they had significant bunker modifications. Let's see, only greens on 12, 13, 14, and 17 resemble the old greens. So if you're familiar with the course, it's been played for, I don't even know how many years now, but 25 plus, I guess. It's going to look like a new course, and we'll get into, who that may or may not benefit in a minute. All tees were resurfaced. The professional tees were added to 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. And in addition to those that had already added, they already added them on 8, 11, 15 for the 2020 tournaments. They added about 100 yards in length. So the course is going to play, give or take 7,500 yards, depending on, where they set the tees up and pin placement. All fairway and greenside bunkers were rebuilt. Holes 1, 15, and 17. They've got new bunker complexes, so kind of it's playing to, hey, the courses are not long enough, et cetera. So they're putting the I think 15, they put that four bunker complex on the right hand side. I think it's around 300 yards, give or take. All fairways were resurfaced, and let's see, new drainage installed in multiple fairways. Hole 15 was rebuilt in entirety from tee to green. Again, those fairway bunkers that are out, kind of at the landing zone. And I think they dropped it maybe 15 or 20 feet, and they took out the creek, or they adjusted the creek on where it's at. So, I don't want to say it's a completely new course, but it's definitely going to be something that the folks haven't seen before. So let's get into the stats real quick, just on the course. So yeah, Dublin, Ohio. Again, it can play just over 7,500 yards, all bent grass greens, as recently mentioned. At Muirfield, wait a minute. So before we get any farther, I don't know what the membership is at Muirfield Village.
I don't know. Mm-mm.
And I would imagine that they have multiple courses there. But how do you think the folks that are members of Muirfield, I mean, they had to sit idle for 10 months and not play the golf course. How do you think they feel about that? Because I think the course just opened up 2 weeks ago.
I would say whatever Jack says goes.
Hey, have a milkshake, go play another 18 somewhere, right?
They might have did some kind of, they could either have many courses, like you said, or some kind of partnership with another course. They could play that one in the meantime or something, right? Some kind of bridge or something, I would think.
By the way, we've now made it to Magnolia Whiskey. It's their bottle and bond expression. So fantastic work those folks are doing. I did see they just released their new, I shouldn't say they just, but they announced or were promoting at least their barrel pick program. So I told Jeff, I'm like, hey man, so I sent him a sample of this one up there. We'll see what happens.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah.
So past Memorial winners, this is not the work day. That's the only time that they held that due to COVID. So past Memorial winners, Jon Rahm in 20, Patrick Cantlay in 19, Bryson DeChambeau in 18. That is pre buffed up. I'll whip Brooks's ass, Bryson. Jason Duffner in 2017, Will McGirt in 16, David Lingmerth in 15, Hideki Matsuyama in 14, major winner Hideki Matsuyama, and Matt Kuchar in 2013. So, most people are looking at this course going like, hey, this is a bomber's course. But I mean, you throw in Kuchar, you throw in Lingmerth, you throw in Jason Duffner. I mean, is it a bomber's course? I wouldn't say that that's necessarily so. I think the stats that we're going to be looking at here is it going to benefit the bomber? Absolutely. Is there a different direction to go? 100%. I think we're looking at ball strikers, strokes gained, tee to green. At least that's what I'm looking at on Fantasy National. And I think it's approach shot. Greens are going to be relatively small compared to the course, or compared to the courses on the PGA Tour that they play. And it's going to be all about the approach, right? And if you're not hitting the greens, it's going to be around the green. So I think there's a few, those three key stats that you can look at. So again, hitting fairways, approach shots, and around the green. I think that's going to carry, and that's how I'm going to set my Fantasy National up. I'm looking at the past 24 rounds. Let's see. You're going to go course specific, or are you just going to look at recent play? And the reason I say this is because, think about last year, and let's see. Let me get over to. I'm definitely using that little fancy sheet that.
I know you love that sheet. I know you do
love that sheet. Let's see. In 2019, so Morikawa won the workday.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm sure he'd played the course before, but that's the first time he had ever seen the course in tournament conditions. And it definitely played a lot easier than the Memorial did. But I think we're kind of getting into a similar situation with Muirfield in the revamp that Jack did. I think we're getting into, it's going to be a new course. So I don't know, can we look at course history, or should we be looking at recent form, or I don't know. I mean, that's my question to you, Dan.
I think you got to look at both. I think it's important to look at the past because it is the same course in terms of just the layout or whatnot. But then again, if you look at Morikawa, he wins the workday and then he plays Memorial the week after and he finishes T48. So it's not that indicative in terms of like these guys are going to perform here well every week, right? I mean, you go from first to 48th the week after. It's not the same course. So it's going to be completely different this year. So I think you look at it, but I think more so I'm looking at recent form and just understanding the conditions that Muirfield will put out there. Like it's a very tough course. It's long. It's going to play a lot like a major. So, yeah.
All right. You ready to get into this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
I'm ready.
I'm ready now. Yeah, I'm ready now.
I'm ready in this Magnolia. I can tell you that. All right. So in the 10,000 range or better, and I can tell you, I bet I know who is not happy at being the lowest priced person in the top tier is JT at $10,200. You know who is? You know what? He is happy about Jordan Spieth being in the top. He's the top man. Are you surprised that Jon Rahm isn't the lead horse here? Because I think Jon Rahm is the betting favorite.
I told you I didn't even look at this beforehand, and I told you I think Jon Rahm's number one player in the world. When I said I didn't look at this, I didn't look at the actual salaries right away. I was looking at the stats in terms of DK points and all that. But yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Jon Rahm would be number one for sure. But I mean, Spieth is he's on a hot streak. When you approach Dottie and you say, I don't have anything in my bag, then I don't know where his head's at right now. But yeah, I think it's I think Jon Rahm and DeChambeau probably should be ahead of Spieth in terms of pricing. Even Morikawa. Morikawa wasn't playing good. But then JT, like you said, last guy in the pricing. Yeah. Who's your favorite here in the spot?
My favorite. So strokes gained total tee to green, Collin Morikawa at $10,400. So what, almost $1,000 less than Spieth. I think it's Morikawa. I think Morikawa is the guy to get it done in that range. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if you could afford all these guys, I don't think it's bad. I don't think you can go wrong with picking any of the 6 guys in the $10,000+ range, except for the one guy that I might avoid is JT. I mean, he just missed the cut of the PGA Championship. So that's the one guy that I might avoid in the $10,000 range. Anybody else, if you're going to pick somebody there, I think Spieth, Rahm, DeChambeau, McIlroy. I don't know. What's McIlroy going to do? Well, hold on. Let me back up before I get to McIlroy. I don't know. We haven't seen Bryson since the whole family feud. So I don't, I mean, I'm serious though, right? I mean, I don't know. And is this where the Ant episode went down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was the workday, right? Yeah. Was it the workday?
One of the two. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I'm waiting and not even patiently, but I'm waiting on Brooks to start chirping. Watch out. And I don't know what hole it was. Watch out for the ants on, hey, don't hit it right on 15. Maybe that's why Jack put the bunkers there.
Oh, ant piles.
Keep you away from the ant piles. Keep you away from them. So I don't know what's going to happen with Bryson. If I'm fading 2 people here, I'm fading JT just because I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Well, it's his putting, obviously. That's the worst case scenario.
So what's the deal with Brooks and DJ? Why are they not playing?
Well, DJ's got a knee injury.
Oh, okay.
And I think Brooks is afraid he's going to get paired with Bryson because it's an invitational. It's an invitation.
I'm sure they got the invite. Both those guys, I'm sure, got the invite.
No. Oh, speaking of, let me back up for a second. So speaking of who gets invited to this invitational, so it's a 120 player field. I think they go to 56 in ties. I could maybe I'm wrong, but ish. But it's the last 5 winners of the Memorial. And okay. I'm assuming they're going to include the workday as well. Mm-hmm. You get the last 5 winners of the TPC and the majors, mm-hmm. tournament winners of the past year. So I'm assuming that's grouping in the workday. I'm assuming
that would include both Brooks and DJ.
Ryder Cup and President's Cup for the last time that it was played, they get invited. The U.S. and British amateur winners. There's 4 tournament selections, so you get 4 tournament exemptions. Top 50 in the world rankings, top 70 in FedEx Cup points, and prior year College Player of the Year, which is also the Jack Nicklaus Award. And then there's some other variation of to fill the remaining field of money winners on other golf tours in the world. So they can kind of pick and fill as they want. So that's who gets invited. Why is Brooks not playing? I think Jack's like, hey, put them together. I like competition.
Is Jack the Vince McMahon of the PGA?
maybe. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't call it crazy, but think back in the day. I mean, you and I weren't around, but I mean, back in the day, I mean, they were hotboxing cigarettes and, the whole social media thing, the thing that allows us to do what we're doing right now, has put this in a tailspin. Who knows what those guys would have been if they would have been in the era of social media. So anyway,
all right. So ball striking, which is a combination off the tee and approach. If all these top guys here, you got the first guy here is Morikawa, is the first in ball striking. And then it goes to Spieth. This is last 24 rounds. And then it goes to Rahm, DeChambeau, JT, and then Rory. So we know Rory's been struggling. But if you were to say which one's your favorite here, and then on the putting, you got for number one in this of these guys, he's 19th overall, but number one in these guys is Spieth, last 24 rounds. Then it goes to Bryson. It goes to Rory.
Let me give you this. I'm
Well,
going
I'm
to go
just
ahead.
saying.
Let me answer the question. Collin Morikawa.
Mhm.
He's ranked third in strokes gained total. He's ranked first strokes gained tee to green, first in ball striking, 12th off the tee, first in approach. Now, short game, it ain't that good. But I mean, when you're ranked first in approach, why do you need a good short game? And that's why I say I think that Morikawa, I think this could be the setup for him to win back-to-back tournaments at the same course, year over year, because he didn't know, he hadn't played tournament conditions at the Memorial. So I don't know. What he finished last week, somewhere in the 40s, T40 something. So maybe. That's something to look at. But I think that what we've seen out of Morikawa showing up to golf courses first time in tournament conditions, I mean, he's playing damn good golf, man. So
but my point is, so Spieth ball striking is kind of first in the second in the group, but then he's first in the group in putting. He's a good value. I mean, I know he's not a great value in terms of like the price, but I mean, I can see why he's ranked the highest in terms of the salary here. So,
there's nothing bad under Spieth's numbers. There off the tees is worse, which, hey, no secret. He's ranked 39th, and that's his highest ranked category. So, I think that's something to look at. McIlroy looks good. I mean, even by the numbers, JT even looks good, right? I mean, putting's a thing that's kind of killing, but Morikawa is ranked 98th.
So we're going to go Spieth and Morikawa are two guys that we like here.
Yeah, and I'm fading DeChambeau and JT on this one just because I don't know, living rent free in somebody's head, it may get a hold of you.
DeChambeau could pop. You never know. I mean, he won here before, and he could pop. So
the $9,000 range. Let's see, who do we like in the $9,000 range? So you've got, I mean, this is a cast of characters, man. You've got
it's a
Hovland, X-Man, Cantlay, Hideki, Connors, I mean, it just continues on. Patrick Reed, Scottie Scheffler. I think the one guy that I'm probably fading in this one is I'm thinking it's going to be Scheffler. I think a lot of people are probably fading Patrick Reed just on basically him missing the cut last week. But I mean, Reed's one of those guys that could make he could make he could do a 180 and come right back. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Patrick Reed's game per se. It's just one of those things that, the cards fell where they did last week. He can make a comeback. I think Finau, there's something to be said there. If he gets the putter turned around, Corey Connors, I mean, come on, man. Speaking of the other Canadian, there you go. Do you think Kokrak's going, hey, wait a minute, why is Connors way up there and I'm way down here?
Yes, of course I do. He gets no respect. He is the Rodney Dangerfield of
who do I like in the $9,000 range? I like Javi, and I actually like Hideki. Those are my two plays. Cantlay, if he gets the putter turned around, you probably got something there. Finau, maybe, but I'm going Javi and Matsuyama. Those are going to be my two anchors. And Javi, boy, $9,900. He just keeps encroaching in that $10,000 range. Hey, give him a minute, man. He'll get a win and he'll get there.
I say watch out for Cantlay and Schofley this week. Those guys like this place. I mean, look at Schofley. He's last year T13, year before that T14. If you look at Cantlay, T32 last year, before that first and fourth. So watch out for those two guys.
Who you fading?
I'm fading in this category. I don't know what's going on with Scheffler right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really my only fade. I mean, I would, if you like any of those other guys, I wouldn't be afraid to put any of the others in the lineup.
Yeah. I mean, Finau seems to be bouncing back. He went on a little miscut streak there with missing the players, Valero and Wells, but he seems to be back. He's at 20th at Charles and then 8th at the PGA. So he seems to be back and getting back in form. So yeah, the only one I don't like there is Scheffler, but this whole category is really good. Is Sam Burns? I guess Sam Burns too is, he didn't play last week, right?
He's at $8,900. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Where's Finau? So he was 8th last year and missed the cut in 19, T13, T40, and T11. So he's got a good track record here. So, there's something there. Patrick Reed, T10 last year. Just a cut making machine. Oddly enough, I said I like Hideki here. He did miss the cut, but that was coming off the whole COVID thing. So I'm not really, and he won the Masters. He won the Masters. So yeah, no. All right. So the $8,000.
Remember last year, Hideki really started slow back last year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's see the $8,000 range. We don't need to read through all these. Who do you like in the $8,000 range? You want me to talk more about Charlie Hoffman? I sure will.
I like Matthew Fitzpatrick and Cameron Smith and Louis Oosthuizen.
So I agree on the Louis side, T54 last year, T57, T13, and 18. So I wouldn't say great finishes outside of the 18, but Louis' game right now is just on point. I really like him here. Who's the other guy? So Joaquin Niemann, Yako, he's been playing outstanding. However, he did miss the cut last year, T27 and T6 and 18. I can see why you like Fitzpatrick, 3rd last year. Charlie Hoffman, he will be in a lot of my lineups. However, Charlie Hoffman didn't play here last year, missed the cut in 19, missed the cut in 18, and T45 and 17. However, when you look at the model on Fantasy National, where you at, Charlie? I got lots of 2s, lots of 3s, and I've got number 1 in DraftKings points. So even though, it kind of says, hey, it's he doesn't play well here, I'm rolling the dice on Charlie Hoffman, and I wish I would have already committed to who my one and done was going to be, because I think it could be between him and another guy at $8,000, Keegan Bradley. And that guy is putting some work in, and it's starting to show for Keegan Bradley. His numbers just look, his current play is absolutely outstanding. Keegan Bradley, T68 here last year, missed the cut in 19, T23 in 18, missed the cut in 17, and T8 in 16. So I'd say it's hit or miss. Based on, what I'm looking at over the past 5 years, it says this is his miscut year. But if Keegan can get the putter hot, I think Keegan has got, he's got something, man. Wouldn't surprise me to see a T5 or better out of Keegan Bradley.
Ricky's back, man. He's the only guy I see at $8,000.
Woo!
Ooh.
Where's my Corona? Props. We need props. So I'm gonna have to start. I wish he was a Pacifico guy, but I guess that's not. But I don't know. Maybe he missed the cut last year. T14, T8, T2.
Yeah, he was in his funk. He's coming out of it, man.
I'm telling you. You've got outside of the last year's cut, the previous 3 tournaments, T14 or better. And we got a T2 out of him in 17. So maybe so, man. I can't argue. Who else do you like in the $8,000?
So the guys I like, again, I like Louis O, Cam Smith, Fitzpatrick, and I'm going to fade Sam Burns. I don't know how the back is, and he was horrible at the PGA.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was back related or if he was just off. He said it was the back, so I got to trust him on that. I don't know where he's at. I just don't know where he's at.
Who am I fading here? I'm fading Sungjae like a fool. Sungjae's probably going to win. And who else am I fading? I'm gonna fade Shane Lowry, I guess. I don't. I want to fade Billy Horschel because of that friggin' beard, but
he's been playing well.
I know, that's why I can't. It's like I'm gonna respect the beard. Respect the beard. All right, $7,000. Yes, absolutely. He's going in every. G'day, mate. Let's throw another shrimp on the barbie. Absolutely. Adam Scott. He didn't play here in 2020. Finished solo second in 19, T35, T31 back to 2017. We haven't seen a lot of Adam Scott. He's selectively playing what he wants to play. Life is good for the Aussie. So, I guess when you got it like that, man, you do what you want. The first two guys in the $7,000 range that Gary Woodland, T22, T52, T23, T49, T4. It just keeps going. It gets better and better and better. It doesn't get worse. Let me put it that way. Gary Woodland, we said 3 tournaments ago-ish. Regardless of where it was at, we were like, what the hell is going on with Gary Woodland, man? This guy he does not look good. Something's happening with him. And, let me tell you, Gary Woodland looks real good.
I told you that. I played him last week. I'm one and done.
He looks good, man. I like where Gary Woodland's at.
I would like to be a little bit better last week, but he did pretty good. Good.
Don't bring up one and done, by the way. It's the end of the show, Dan. End of the show. I'll tell you how good this Bottle and Bond Magnolia whiskey is.
You talk any more about one and done, it's going to be done.
I know. That lead I had is quickly dwindling. Let's see. Who don't I like here? I don't know. Even though Day has a good track record here, Day does not look good to me. You got Cameron Tringale, which has been playing some good golf. I see him back at 2016. He missed the cut here. I'm not putting anything on Tringale. Kevin Streelman, by the way, it's $7,500, which is playing fantastic golf. He had a great week last week at the Charles Schwab, T54, solo 4th, T44, T13, and T8. He likes the Memorial. Hopefully, I definitely see him going in a lineup or two. Stuart Sink, oddly enough, T62 last year, missed the cut in 18, T25, and 17. So again, you're thinking 7,500 yards plus. It's got to be a long hitter's course. Hey, he's playing good enough. I don't know. At 7,500, is Stuart Sink a guy that I'm gravitating towards? Maybe not. I'm probably looking elsewhere. So, but yeah, if you need him and you like him, somebody there that has a good track record here. Who else? Siwoo Kim. So Siwoo Kim, I think, interesting enough. So he withdrew from the Schwab. Allegedly, it is not injury related. Allegedly, and T18 in 20, T41, T29 withdrew in 2017. I don't know. We're starting to see a pattern here. And T74 in 16. So, a good enough track record. I'd say if you're going to, kind of tie Memorial back to, what's similar courses, I think it's going to set up really to kind of Pete Dye courses with, hit fairways, small greens.
Yep.
When they, resurface greens tend to play a little harder. These things were like trampolines last year. So, if they're any harder than what they played, it's, ball flight, maybe something to look at or consider or think about. But yeah, so, Siwoo's probably a play here if his head's on right. I don't know. Who do you like in the $7,000 range, Dan?
I like Woodland. I like Scott, Bubba, Leishman. Yeah, who's been playing really well is Christian Bezuidenhout. He's been playing really well. Yeah, have you seen his latest form there?
Yeah, and T22 last year. So Bezuidenhout may not be a bad play.
He's been playing well, especially for somebody that you want to make the cut. So it was like 30th at the PGA, 33 at RBC, 40th Masters, 41 players, 7th API, 32nd WGC. He's just consistent in that, that 30-ish kind of range or whatnot, which again, if you're looking for somebody like that, at $7,600, not bad. T22 last year, like you said. I like those other guys, like I just talked about, Woodland, Scott, Watson, Leishman, like Streelman. Stuart Sink hasn't played great here, but he's been playing great golf this year. So I like him. Another guy in really good form right now is Patton Kizzire. he's been like on the screen all the time in the last couple of weeks. Third at Charles Schwab, third at the Brian Nelson, 58th at Wells, 60th at Valspar. So, the last 2 weeks there weren't very good, but the last two tournaments he's played, the Charles Schwab and the Byron Nelson, third. Dang good golf. So I keep an eye on him this week. Yeah. What about you?
Who I like here is, I wouldn't argue it. Definitely the Aussies going in a lineup. Woodland's going in. I'm going to kind of fade Watson. I don't know, just because I think Grillo's a play. Fading Day, noted on Bazuden. Charles Schwartzel, definitely a fade for me. His past 2 outings here, he missed the cut. He did look good a couple tournaments ago, but I don't know what's happening there. Kirk, he kind of burned me last weekend, so I'm steering clear.
Yep.
Kazire, I liked him. If Siwoo Kim if he's good, I like it. Doug Gim, gimme. I like where Doug Gim's at. I think I dropped what he did last weekend, but he did place well. Where you at, Doug Gim? Come back over here. Quit running away from it. 14th at the Schwab. He missed a cut at the Nelson and the Valspar. 33rd at RBC. So 29th at the Players. Once again, I think this course is going to set up really well for Doug Gim, and at $7,200, I think that's probably a solid play for me. Who else do I like here? Henley, T29 and 18, T33 and 16. I think there's something there for me. Sebastian Munoz, as I mentioned, he was T3, I think, over the weekend, and T48 last year at the Memorial. So it's kind of where I'm holding out at there. Who am I definitely not picking? I think I just told you. I'm steering clear of Watson and Jason Day. Those are my 2. I'll look elsewhere, and Kirk looking elsewhere.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. I agree with you on all of those in terms of the fades. Yep.
So the $6,000 range, we'll hit this one kind of quick. Who do I like down here? Who I like is Brendan Steele, T13 and 20, T41 and 19, T57 and T20 and 16. I like him. Who else I like here is Ben On. He missed a cut in 2020. Before that, you got T17, T2, T25, and T11. So I think Ben On, and I actually did start a couple of lineups with Ben On as that's where I immediately gravitated to. I started a lineup there with Ben. So I think we can see, I think we can get a little something out of Ben at this course. And again, I think part of the benefit is going to be, while it's not a new location, it's going to be somewhat of a new course. 50 at the Schwab, 49 at the PGA. I did miss the cut at RBC and the Players, so scratch that. But I'm still going to start with. I did start a lineup with Ben On and Michael Thompson. Didn't play in 2020. T14 in 2019. I think he missed the cut missed the cut at the Schwab and the Fargo. 42nd RBC, 34th at the Masters, 19th at the Honda, 48th at the Players. So I think there's a little bit of similarities in there of kind of, of what's happening. So who do you like in the $6,000 range, Dan?
Keep an eye on Wyndham Clark. And his last couple tournaments here is 20th at the Schwab, 75th at the PGA, 39th at the Byron Nelson, 43rd at Wells, 60th at Valspar. His name is popping up there, and he's showing some decent form. So just keep an eye on him for this range here. Definitely like him here. Who else? Wrong page.
Russell Knox looks good here.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play last year, but T27, T44, T65, and 64. So, he got a good track history. Obviously, David Lingmerth was a winner. He missed the cut last year, but then you got T41, 29, T15, T27.
Ben On. He likes it here. Yeah.
That's what I don't know. I swear, I started a lineup with Ben On. I went to the bottom of the barrel, and that's where I started. And, where's Ben at again? At $6,400, you can do a lot of work up in that $8,000 and $9,000 range, man.
Norlander popped here last year. Remember, he was all over the TV in the last couple of rounds. Yep, he was T6 last year here.
And Norlander's been playing pretty good. I mean, well, let me say he's coming back, right? So, is this the time for? I don't know. He burned. I mean, I was so hot on Norlander.
I know you were.
I was playing that guy like I was all over him. But so 50 at the Schwab. Missed the Fargo, 48th at Valspar, missed the RBC. He's got a lot of misses. So he kind of burned me there for a minute, and I got off the Norlander train. But maybe he's making a comeback. I don't know.
I think he could. Fellow Turtleson guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yes. Yeah. Friend of the show. Support the brand.
Exactly.
Turtleson Apparel. Let's see. Anybody well, we don't need to get into who we don't like down there. That's I mean, I think it's going to be fun, right? I mean, I like it's going to be fun to see the new course. It's going to be fun to see how people, how they I'm interested to hear how the players respond to the new course design. Maybe not even design, but the renovations of the course. I'm interested to hear how they did it, because Jack was pretty adamant when they were interviewing it, right? I mean, he kind of said, "Hey, I'm gonna fix this whole link thing," and without having 100 yards. Does that make a difference? I think you've got three of the 4 par threes that are over 200. But I mean, we've been rattling that off for how many tournaments now that that's kind of the norm for the pros. So, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's going to be where, like on 15, where he put the new bunker complex. I think that's going to be something, is it forcing, well, I mean, so take Patrick Reed, for example. I mean, Patrick Reed prefers a draw. Jack prefers a fade. So, I mean, just right out of the gate, I mean, you already know, right? I mean, if you're drawing the ball, you're probably, Jack courses may not be. And if you look at the model on Fantasy National, I mean, I don't see Patrick Reed in a top anything looking at, and I'm not dogging Patrick out. I'm just saying it just kind of goes to show, I mean, short game, right? I mean, short game and putting, which is nothing from tee to green, which is, kind of Jack's natural to somebody else's natural. Yeah. So, So, all right. So who one and done, Danny? You get to go first this time. Since I lost, to the victor goes the spoil.
I may be early on this. I'm going Mr. Corona.
Oh yeah. God, I wish I had my big hat. If I had my beach hat. If I would have known, you're picking Ricky Fowler as your one and done.
Oh yeah. Showing the love, man. He's getting ready for the U.S. Open.
Where's the end button? Where's the end button? Where's the end? Well, I want this thing shut. Is this thing still on?
Hey, I mean, he did well at the PGA. It was a really tough course. He hung in there. He showed some signs of improvement. He needs to get a good victory here or a good showing in order to potentially qualify for the U.S. Open. He wants to qualify for the U.S. Open.
Well, think about this. Was Spieth in his in the downturn, in the rebuilding, was Spieth playing any worse than Ricky Fowler has played of recent?
No.
Yeah, equally the same, right?
Yeah.
So maybe. I mean, can you imagine what Vince McMahon is going to write up? I bet it's going to be like a 4-on-1. It's going to be you're going to have Spieth, JT, Ricky. Who's the fourth? Does Smiley even have his? I don't think Smiley has his card.
No. Unless if I don't win my one and done this week, Fowler might not have his either.
So it's going to be three. It's going to be 3 against 2. It's going to be Spieth, Fowler, and JT take on the tag team champions, Brookson,
exactly.
Brookson and company. Good Lord. All right, I'm going Morikawa.
I mean, it's a solid play. That's what. If I was actually taking this seriously, that's probably what I would do.
I'm going. Oh, so what are you saying? You're so far behind now. It's like, hey, I'll just pick somebody random.
No, I was just doing a long shot.
Yeah. Well, boy, talk about a long shot. I'm going Morikawa. And I'm going Morikawa for the win. I think he actually and now granted, ball striking, it was a little lackluster last week, but I think he pulls it together, man. I think it's a new course. I think it's something that everybody's going to be not playing for the first time, but they're going to be playing in competition for the first time. And I think it's the same thing we talked about, during COVID when there weren't fans. I think it's advantage to the new guy.
I do too.
So yeah, I think Morikawa pulls this off. I'm not crawfishing on you on this one, but if I were going dark horse, where I'd go Keegan Bradley. I think Keegan Bradley is borderline. I said it earlier, Bradley and Hoffman, one of those two guys, the next 5 tournaments, we're going to get a win out of one of them. And I think Keegan could actually, I like both. I like Keegan probably a little more than I like I know right? If we could all hit fairways and greens and make putts, we'd all be winning, kid. But I think that I think Keegan would be definitely wouldn't be old Bucky.
Well, I thought I had used Bucky or Bradley, but I have not. So I could use him, but no. Card laid is a card played. No, it's played. But so like if you say, why are you picking Ricky? Well, I burned Spieth, I burned Rahm, I burned DeChambeau, I burned Rory, I burned Morikawa, I burned JT, I burned all these guys already.
Oh, wait a minute. By the way, have I actually picked more? Have I got Morikawa to use? I think I do.
I think we said you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, and I don't think I've used Morikawa yet either.
Well, I know I don't have Patrick Reed because I picked his ass last week. Guess who didn't make the cut?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kez, appreciate it. You must have put money back on the other side.
I use Matsuyama as well. So yeah, I've used a lot of guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
None of the wire down here.
I like Matsuyama to make the cut. I do like Bucky to make the cut. I don't like him placing ahead of Collin.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I think that
I don't have Collin. I don't have anybody like. Well, I have. Yeah. So anyway, it's get to that point where we got to be selective. This is not. It's a good field. It's not a great field. We're missing some guys here. So yeah.
What do you like? 5-time winner Tiger Woods.
Won
3 in a row.
Jason Kokrak.
Jason Kokrak, back-to-back wins, back-to-back tournament wins. Jason Kokrak,
DJ
Brooks Koepka.
Brooks Koepka. Haven't used Brooks yet. Haven't used DJ yet.
You know what I hear is a good recipe for a sore knee.
Mm-hmm. Kokrak.
Just saying, it'll numb the pain. It'll numb the pain. Hey everybody, looking forward to a great tournament this week. I don't know. We said who we wanted, who's not here that would look good to be here. But everybody's gearing up for the Open, man. But I'm excited to see who is at this tournament, who is supporting it, and who's showing up. I think it's the people that are on their game, man, best of the best, and they've got gas in the tank. So here's some more bourbon milkshakes, Dan.
There you go. Cheers.